Okay, so I thought I'd test out Elizabeth since we're gonna be using her in the next episode, and oh my gosh, she actually might be one of the most versatile units or playable characters that you can use. So she pretty much has every single element in the entire game, including the status effects too. So her basic combo is, well, I'll just show you, it's quite long. And in fact, it actually doesn't use any special animations, it's just long. So just take a look at this. So if you were paying attention there, she basically used all the elements. So she used electricity, wind, fire, and ice. And so Elizabeth is all about essentially using those different elements to kind of position herself relative to her opponents. So the first one is electricity, so she can do this, which is a short electrical burst with her X. You can also do a long one with back A. Oh, whoops, it's this one. Wait, no, it's this one, sorry. No, it's this one. Oh, never mind. I'm messing it up already, but I think it's... Is it this? I thought it was X. There it is. Okay, yeah. So if you do D-pad to the right and then X, it's a short burst of electricity. And if you use A, bit of a delay. Super long one though, so it's pretty much impossible for the enemy to either dodge it unless they jump or unless they're blocking it. So there's that. Next is fire, I believe, or actually no, we'll do ice. So yeah, for ice, it's back X. Pretty nice. Freezes the enemy in place. And if you do the A variant, it actually follows up with a air attack. So it does this, which is pretty nice. Then she has fire, which is probably my most favorite because of how versatile it is. So I think it's B. No, that's wind. So for fire, whoops. Yeah. So for the backwards B, it actually brings the enemy towards you. But if you do the other one, whoops. If you do another one, you can, depending on the rotation you use, you can push the enemy further away from you or towards you, which is pretty damn nice. Whoops, not that. So you can push him towards you, or you can do push him away from you, which is pretty damn cool. I can do this, and then push him away. Like that. Alright, now for the wind, it's pretty good. There's only one move, I think, for wind, in which she can kind of, you can have a bit of control over this, and you can move. Not that much damage, but it's good crowd control. And then finally, she has her status ailments, which are pretty easy to pull off. So when she's crouched, her B is a poison. Doesn't actually do any damage though, so it doesn't stagger the enemy either. So pretty easy for the enemy to kind of just go in for the counterattack. And then her Y is a fear and a knockback, which is really nice because it's a really good way to get some space from the enemy. Other than that, her strong attack is pretty unique too. Her air one is nice because it's kind of a very long card attack like this. And then the downwards one is a little uppercut. And then her normal one is like a little discus. So, pretty nice. She also has one where she can do her persona in the air too. Downward strike. And her persona summon is a grab. Now what's cool about her persona summons is that she can follow up her persona abilities. So for instance, let's say I use the B one. The B one is a grab, so if it lands, then it just will throw the opponent across the map. And if it's the Y version, it's a double slash. If this first one hits, the second one will always hit. So it's like this, which is pretty nice. But let's say I'm far from the enemy, right? And I do the Y. Okay, let's try that again. So, see? So in this case, even though I missed the sword attack, I can immediately follow up with the B, do a grab from where Thanatos ended his strike. So it's a good fake out, basically. So just because I missed the slash, you can still go for the grab. The only weakness is that Elizabeth is then stationary during this entire time, so if he misses the grab, I'm kind of screwed. But yeah. Alright, let's finish this off and get to the actual episode, because we're not actually playing as Elizabeth today. Oh, wait, what? No? How do I activate her instant kill? Oh. How do you proc it then? Automatically defeats the opponent after taking 3 hits? Oh, I see. So you're... Once you take 3 hits from that, then you win. I see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. So as you can see, Elizabeth has all the elements. She even has mind charge. Oh my god. Yeah, but we're not going to get into that. Anyways, let's continue with the story, because we're almost there. We're so close. We'll start off with Akihiko, and then we'll do Aigis. And then I might have to get myself something to eat, because I've been going at this for quite a while.
Why did it have to be now? Who the hell are you?
We've come to take you in. Would it clear things up if I mention the name Kirijo?
Who invited this half-naked man? One Labrys looks at me and yells in rage, but the other one recoils in horror.
No! I'll never go back there!
Well, shit. Crap, she ran off.
Damn it, get back here!
The other one dashes after the first one. I immediately try to pursue them, but...
Hey, wait a second! Who are you?
Oh, right. I guess this is the part where I punched Kanji through the door and... Chie's here. The remaining girl in the green warm-up jacket stops me. If I recall correctly, she was the female student introduced as the carnivore in that commercial.
I need to go after them. You're better off forgetting what you just saw.
Wait! You can't just...
She happens to be uninjured, and I can't lose time dealing with her. I ignore her and book it after Labrys. Oh, no invisible wall, okay. Ain't no way I left Chie in the dust.
Right there, Buster!
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, Chie can keep up with me. That voice. She caught up to me, though I'm running at full sprint? Huh. She must be quite an exceptional athlete. But I can't drag her into this. This is my duty. Should I run even harder? That might cause me to redline my heart rate. That would dead end my legs for any upcoming fights. Or should I just convince her to leave? Unfortunately, it seems that both of those options have been taken off the table now. I wrap my fist where there is nothing. Resistance, another invisible wall. Looks like this is the enemy's way of buying time. Sure enough, the female student catches up to me. She confronts me and she tries to regain her breath.
You're gonna tell me what's going on!
So she wants an explanation. There's no harm in telling her what's going on since their friends are already caught up in this mess, but there's no need for them to learn details about it. They just return to the real world. They can get out while keeping relatively normal lives.
What good would that do you?
What?
I'm here on a certain mission. You could even call it a duty. My resolution is nothing like yours, based on curiosity.
A duty?
I hit the invincible wall.
Ridiculous Grand Prix is still going on.
What? Wait, you mean...
That girl hurriedly reaches around the space behind her. As I expected, her hand hits an invisible wall as well. That wall didn't exist when I first passed through that area.
We're trapped. So, like, do we...
That's what you get for coming after me so recklessly. The rule that one opponent must be defeated is still in effect.
She may be a girl and a student, but I don't intend to go easy on anyone as long as I have a mission to complete. I unleashed the aura that instantly silenced the so-called tough guys all around the world. Akihiko aura. I was hoping that she would quietly back down before I had to go this far. But even though my aura dampened the girl's resolve a bit, she didn't even take a step back.
Alright, I accept.
Huh. Why are you willing to go to such lengths to catch up to Labrys?
I don't know why. I just know that she was in pain. I don't know if my reasons are better or worse than yours, but I can't turn my back on her.
The foolish words of a child. There's a fire in her eyes that makes up for her lack of reason. I gotta say, I prefer that far more than wasting time with needless chatter. She's definitely piqued my interest a bit.
Alright. To answer your question, what you saw was the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labrys. She was given a heart so she could use a persona.
A weapon? Then she really is a robot. But she's so cute. And she even sounds like a normal girl.
Yeah, well, that's up to the Kirijos as to why they made the robots all girls. I'm not going to ask that question either. She has a perplexed look on her face. Even though she already seen those mechanical arms and legs, it must be hard for her to believe that a robot could be that lifelike.
Oh, so that's what her lost memories were about. And since she has a heart, she has a shadow too.
Koetsu was like, oh yeah, make the robots hot. Yes, that will certainly do it. They will distract the shadows while we kill them.
She has a shadow.
It's like Yorha from
You mean
Nier.
the thing where there's two of her?
Why are all the combat androids hot, made like women with perfect proportions that are also blind? Because lore and practicality, of course, says Yoko Taro. Not. The girl does her best to explain the structure of the TV world to me. The world inside the TV apparently mirrors the feelings of those who enter it, and its appearance changes accordingly. She tells me that the fake school was most likely created from Miss President Labrys' psyche. She also explains that the repressed inner thoughts within oneself separates inside the TV world to become a shadow, and that those shadows try to kill their originators and replace them.
I get it now. The mastermind behind all this isn't Labrys, but her shadow.
I think that's it anyway, but I wonder what's with this tournament. What could she have wished for to make this happen?
I have some suspicions about that. Labrys may have been forced to do some inhumane things while she was in development. Her original circumstances may be related to the setup of this Grand Prix.
The girl goes pale upon hearing my words. Such a tale would be unimaginable for those living ordinary lives.
Then, this tournament is a reenactment of what Labrys went through in her past?
Even Mitsuru didn't know that for sure. If there's anyone who can claim to, it would be Labrys herself.
That's all I can tell you. If you still want to search for her, you'll have to defeat me to move on. What'll it be?
The girl holds her tongue for a moment, but it isn't because of fear or hesitation. I could tell from the look in her eyes she's made up her mind.
If Labrys wished to make us go through what she went through, that means she wanted to be understood. She wanted someone to save her.
That's just your guess, though.
But if it's possible I'm right, then I can't abandon her. That's why I won't go back until I've saved her. Her heart is worth fighting for.
Save, huh? Her eyes tell me that she completely believes what she's saying.
What's your name? Mine's Akihiko Sanada.
I'm Chie Satonaka, a third year at Yasogami High.
I like the fire in your eyes. Then let's fight and see whose passion comes out on top.
Alright. Kinda worried? I know Chie is a very strong fighter. I really like her playstyle a lot. It's fun. But Akihiko is kind of more of a close... I hope I remember my combo. It was 2 lights and then heavy and then uppercut. If I remember correctly. Let me try it again. Okay. Damn. Okay.
Ready for this?
Oh, fuck. I can't do it. There we go.
You're up. You're up.
No, I'm trying to do the combo. Okay, so you can't land the uppercut unless I have Caesar pulling in my opponent. It just... The uppercut won't land. I can land the quick jabs and then
Looks
the
like I
heavy,
win.
but the uppercut won't land.
God damn it, this sucks. I lost. Oh well.
She is smiling brightly.
Hey, Chie. You don't get to go search for Labrys like you wanted and you're laughing?
Well, I figured either way you'd save her. Labrys, I mean.
I can't resist cracking a little smile at Chie's words. Huh. She seems naive, but she saw right through me. I guess she's sharper than she looks. One of my mission priorities was to limit collateral damage. To achieve that, I thought that destroying Labrys might be my only option. But now that that plan has been scuttled, my current plan is to save Labrys and protect her. If I'm able to succeed at that, all danger to the surrounding area will be prevented. I'll commit myself to this plan from now on.
Can I ask you to give her a message? Please tell her I said I was sorry for saying such cruel things and doubting her. Let her know I really want to talk with her when this is all over. Anyway, just tell her I apologized.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
Chie's words are clumsy as ever, but what she lacks in speaking ability and vocabulary, she makes up for emotion.
I need to thank you, Chie.
Huh?
On my way here, I was told that my strength was fake, that I was just immersing myself in training to escape my fear of losing others, that I was just sticking my head in the sand. And that was true. The reason I'm so hard on myself is because I'm scared. That might be a weakness of mine, but watching you made me realize it's okay to be like that. No, I don't want to lose anyone again, ever. But that's how I can become stronger. Sheer raw strength is pointless. Getting the ability to see your deepest wishes through is true strength.
That's a little abstract, but I guess it's a compliment, though I still feel a little embarrassed about it.
I can't help but smile as well. After vowing to save Labrys, I leave Chie and attempt to make good on my promises.
Wait here for me. I'll bring Labrys back no matter what.
Okay. As I run the things that happened during my recent training and the things happening in this world start to remind me of each other. An old acquaintance's face flashes into my mind. Someone who took good care of me, someone I haven't seen in a while, Kurosawa-san. I heard that he'd been promoted as a detective, but I haven't been able to personally congratulate him for that yet. There is another place that I need to go visit.
Once this is all over, I should go see him too.
Who? Junpei? Me? My grave? The protagonist? After being forced to travel a circuitous path, I was eventually led back to the very room I was in a few minutes ago, the announcement room. I push the door ajar and find Labrys inside, but is she the real one or the shadow? When Labrys sees me, she's genuinely frightened.
You again? You came all this way after me?
Her reaction and the color of her eyes, they didn't match any of the characteristics Chie told me the shadow would possess. It seems this is truly the real one. Looks like she was still safe. Before she denies her shadow, I must take her into custody at once.
Come with me. I won't let you get hurt.
I take a step forward and hold out my hand, but Labrys backs away, terrified, and keeps her distance.
I'm never going back there. I never want to get put through that again. I'm gonna run away. Just you watch me.
And where will you go? Is that how you're gonna solve everything? You won't even listen, huh? Fine. I didn't think anything I said would be enough to earn your trust. So come at me with everything you've got. I'll accept you for who you are.
The shadow will try and replace its originator. If I lose Labrys to Labrys, I won't be able to fulfill my duty. Is my strength enough to grant my wish? Something told me that the results of my training were about to get their first real test. Alright, nothing like beating up Labrys 3 times. Oh, whoops. Okay, we don't need a bookmark anyways. Just win. Easy win. We beat the hell out of Labrys, then we beat Shadow Labrys twice more.
Finally.
And then Shadow Akihiko probably. Okay, let's do Caesar. Nice. That's the one I'm looking for. Ooh, good hit. Alright, do it again. No, Labrys killed my persona. Alright, let me buff up.
You're up.
Nice. Akihiko is such a simple character. I like it. I think it's because his animations are so quick.
Why won't anyone understand?
She's finally stopped moving. But Labrys' expression tells me that she's not all there right now. I wonder if I can get through to her now. Just as I'm about to speak. I only sense the wind for a moment. An undetected ambush from behind, a giant axe spun at such high speed that it looks like a circular blade to the naked eye. No matter what part of that axe hits my head, it'll decapitate me for sure. Better not let it hit me then. No shit.
Oh, that's a pretty dangerous looking electric fan you've got there.
The shadow glowers at me with an expression of pure hatred. The murderous intent she shows is like any of the petty thugs I've faced. howling with rage as they try to land a punch. I'm in her head now. It looks like the real showdown has finally arrived. Having squandered her chance at an ambush, the shadow angrily prepares her next move. Labrys also sees the shadow and lets out a shocked yelp.
Please stop! This ain't what I wanted!
Hey, calm down. This is your shadow. It's you, isn't it?
A shadow is formed from the repressed parts of yourself. That's what Chie told me. But even after hearing the truth, Labrys continues to shake her head and deny it.
What good will accepting it? If I accept it, then I'm just...
Yo, where's Rise? Isn't Rise in this room?
That's right. There's no way he'd understand. The Kirijo group created you as a tool. Of course, that's the only way they can think of you.
My words will not reach Labrys while she's like this. The shadow's cruel words have a tight grip on her heart. It isn't easy to support someone whose weakness has filled them with doubts and taken over their heart. I decide to listen to what the shadow has to say. This way I can understand its weakness that Labrys is harboring.
Not that you're any better. You didn't hesitate at all to attack him. It just shows your true colors. You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school, having a fighting tournament. You want to see close friends fight for their lives against each other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand. That ain't true! But it was no use. They didn't understand and kept getting in your way. It's all right, though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did. Stop it! That's all a lie. You're not me.
The shadow displays a satisfied smirk. She's waiting for the words of denial. It would be easier to just stop Labrys from saying those words, but it would be meaningless for me to do so. I keep my gaze on Labrys as she speaks the words of denial with finality.
You can't be me!
Well,
Yes,
that's a different variant, but it still works.
I'm myself!
You can't be me. Shadow Labrys is like, close enough. Transform. God, the jump scare of frame one.
I won't let you or anyone else get in my way.
I stand before the shadow who is laughing insanely and surging with newfound power. Her power is actually quite impressive, but I know there is no need for me to fear it. This is where the real battle begins.
Really think I'm gonna make it that easy?
Shadow contorts her face. Those were the same words that the shadow threw at me before, after all.
What's that? You wouldn't be destroyed that badly? Then I'll save her for later and crush you now!
Oh my
I
god.
swore I'd protect Labrys. And I'm not gonna lose what I'm protecting ever again now. Come get me!
Shut up, Kirijo dog!
Damn, okay. Yeah, she got you there, Akihiko. But it's okay. Akihiko's like Kanji. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna win. 100%. Let's do this. Time to hit her with the good old 1-2.
Finally.
Maybe I'll do this. Okay. Do this, do this. Nice. Good combo going on. Damn. Alright. I'll finish this with a move. But this.
Ready for this?
Electric finish. I see. So you need 100 SP to use his Zeo, whereas it's 50 SP for the electric attack buff. Although the electric attack buff is always really risky, because if you get attacked once, if you take damage once, you lose the buff. So it's like, better not get hit then. After silencing the shadow, I stand before Labrys, but she casts her eyes down sadly.
Hey, what's with that face? Stand up and look at me. I have a message for you from Chie.
Huh?
She wanted to apologize for doubting you and hurting your feelings. She was really sorry about what she said. She wanted to tell you herself, too. She was so determined to save your heart that she threw everything she had at me.
Chie-san said that?
Also, Mitsuru, the girl in charge of the Kirijo group, learned what happened to you and was mortified to hear of it. Do you still think no one understands? That your pain is unique to you?
I never thought of things like that. I never imagined anyone understood me, but that's...
I'm a machine, though. I'm not human. Labrys mutters and casts her eyes down again.
I don't know anymore. What am I supposed to believe?
You're human, so you must have the answer. Labrys gazes up at me expectingly. It's true that I have something to believe in, but I don't just have something to believe in simply because I'm human. Plenty of people walk the earth with nothing to believe. I had to find it and grab hold of it myself. Indeed, I found it only after facing down my own weakness.
Look, I don't know much about how you suffered in the past, or how many times your heart was broken. But don't give up. Believe in yourself and keep standing up to the world. No matter how many times you fail, some things you have to grasp for yourself.
Labrys looks up. This time she finally looks me in the eye.
Myself?
That's right. If there's something you really want, fight for it. You'll never get it by running away. What's your strongest desire?
Right now it's kind of dinner, I guess. I should probably eat something. I mean, wait. Oh, he's not speaking to me. Whoops. She falls silent. I don't prod her for an answer. We can't rush this. There is something one must find by facing down themselves, searching their heart for the answer, making it take form on their own. I can't help her find the way. If she doesn't find it on her own, it will be meaningless. Labrys places her hand to her chest. She then closes her eyes and loses herself in deep thought. Eventually, she opens her eyes again and looks at me.
I want people to understand how I feel.
Then there's someone you need to tell that to. And that's yourself over there.
When I point over at the shadow that's fallen silent, Labrys inhales sharply. Her shadow is a part of herself that she just denied. But because she denied that part, she must also realize that there's a question she needs to answer. Why did I deny myself? I'm sure Labrys has found the answer already.
I get it. That's what you've been saying this whole time. In your own way. Yeah. I understand now.
After making this momentous realization, Labrys stands up on her own will and faces her shadow. The awful part of herself that she denied. It's okay, we don't have to see these cutscenes only one more time. I promise. Actually, maybe two because of Elizabeth, but...
So this is the other me.
I have a feeling that Elizabeth's story is going to be totally different from any of these.
It's not easy accepting yourself, but you managed to get past that. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Labrys' reply is slightly embarrassed yet proud. It's the exact combination of emotions I was hoping to see.
We should get going. You have some things you want to tell Chie too, right?
As we leave the announcement room, Mitsuru contacts me. Once the shadows disappeared, all the interference it was creating went with it. The jamming, the invisible walls, all gone. I began escorting Labrys back to the real world. Extorting. Oh god. I can never speak just right. Actually, no, it's a bad habit I have. Like, when I see a sentence, for some reason, I try to read it as fast as I can. I don't know why I do it. It's just... that's how I am. I follow Mitsuru's direction and reach the specified location. A number of people have already gathered. I noticed Teddy, Kanji, Chie, and others I have seen in the P1 commercial as well.
Oh, phew! You're okay, Miss President. Or should I call you Labrys?
I'd be like, no, call me Labby-chan.
Chie-san.
In contrast to Chie's enthusiasm, Labrys looks towards me as if she's unsure about how to feel about everything. Before I can nudge Labrys over towards Chie, she rushes over and takes Labrys' hand. She smiles brightly after she confirms that Labrys is alright. She cannot resist the infectious air of happiness and breaks into a smile of her own.
Hello, sorry, who are you?
Who?
I'm liking that look you've got going on. It's like you just single-handedly saved the world from an evil army.
Yosuke, don't be so rude!
Chie turns towards me and bows energetically.
Akihiko-san, thank you for saving Labrys.
I like how canonically you doesn't know who Labrys is this entire time.
No need to thank me. I just delivered the message you left me with.
Don't you have some people you want to introduce Labrys to? After being prompted, Chie dashes off, tugging Labrys by her hand towards her friends. The people waiting to greet them are everyday students, but none of them seem to be all that concerned by the fact that Labrys is an android. In fact, it seems that they're welcoming her into the group with a big smile. Looks like they're a pretty open-minded bunch. As I'm watching them, I'm joined by some familiar faces.
Are you alright, Akihiko?
I raise my hand as a response to her. That's enough for Mitsuru to understand the situation and smile. Aigis stands next to me and gazes at the group of people gathered around Chie and Labrys.
It seems my sister has also forged a bond.
That takes you back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Like back when our social links with the protagonist who's no longer here.
Though I am a machine, I understand what it means for people's hearts to come together. I would definitely like for my sister to learn that as well.
The battle that took place 3 years ago marked a major turning point not just in my life, but for Aigis and the others that fought alongside me as well. Labrys has just reached the same turning point. Watching this unfold for someone else feels nostalgic and heartwarming at the same time. Mitsuru, however, is standing unmoved. She furrows her brow and is sporting a look I know all too well. Sheesh, what's troubling her now of all times? Aigis notices the serious look on Mitsuru's face and speaks to her in a hushed tone.
Are you thinking of sealing my sister away again?
Don't tell me you're going ahead with that. I know you're in a delicate position, but I have serious issues with this.
No, you misunderstand. I realize full well the situation here. That's not what I was thinking about. What's bothering me is that the true culprit in this case never did show their face.
What? Didn't Labrys say she escaped here on her own?
That's what I thought most likely at the time, but that scenario doesn't match what we've learned since then. How did Labrys learn about this world? Why did she call in these other persona users?
You had some basic investigation done on Inaba, right? If she regained her consciousness a while ago, it's possible she infiltrated your network and found out about that stuff.
That's not my only doubt. Labrys' ability to cloud others' senses can only go as far as creating hallucinations. That's inconsistent with the ability to control people so thoroughly as to make them risk their lives in a hijacking. There's too much that doesn't add up.
That does seem suspicious.
Mitsuru is right, there are too many unexplained circumstances here. But why stand around worrying about it? All the answers we need are a few simple questions away. I'll call out to Labrys.
Labrys, how did you escape all the way here?
Huh? I was inside a chamber and...
She tries to continue, but her body immediately goes completely rigid. That's not good. She looks like she's standing completely devoid of thought, but I know better.
Get back!
I shout out a warning to everyone in the area. She immediately reaches out for the large axe on her back and brandishes it.
What a pain.
I have to protect Chie and the other civilians. I immediately take a step forward to engage the still, expressionless Labrys. This is a difficult situation than our earlier battle. Since Labrys can now use her persona, this is going to be a much more difficult fight. If we joined forces to attack her, that would be a simple matter. However, Labrys' body's already taken a lot of damage from all the battles she's been in. There's no way of knowing if she'd survive a combined assault from us. Doubt and hesitation swirl around my mind and cloud my judgment. I must make a decision and follow it up with no regrets. That's when Mitsuru's sharp voice pierces the air.
Akihiko, buy me some time.
Looks like she has some kind of plan up her sleeve, and my course of action has been decided.
You got it!
I tightly ball my hand into a fist and extend it towards my opponent. I reiterate my vow.
Labrys, I will protect you no matter what.
By beating the crap out of you, that's what. Here we go. It's hero time. I mean, with the amount of times we've had to fight Labrys in each of our character routes, I'm surprised Labrys isn't a pile of junk by now, let's be honest here. Alright. Okay, do this, then this. Okay, cheap shot. Do that. Damn. Oh. All right. Oh, I have another one. Hold on. Oh my god. No. Okay. I tried to end it with something cool, but in the end, I got lucky with that actually. I jumped and I used my Persona Y ability.
Looks like I managed to keep her intact.
Yeah, sorry Akihiko, I kind of threw that a bit. But she still seems to be under the control of someone else. Do we have to strike down the one controlling her? Where could they be controlling her from? Just as I prepare to check the surrounding area for any outside presences, a voice echoes from somewhere.
You resorted to your fists in the end, after all. That's why people say your strength is fake.
There's a familiar voice that I can't quite place. Darkness manifests from out of nowhere and coalesces into a form of a person.
What is that?
It's another Akihiko-san?
It's a me.
Whoa! Is that Akihiko-san's shadow?
The darkness dissipates, and what was left standing there was me. Just like Labrys' shadow from before, he looks exactly like me. The only difference is in the eyes. While the others are stirring, he coldly declares,
You go on and on about resolve and whatnot. What have you been doing these past few years? Just training yourself to fight better, that's all. You haven't grown at all as a person. You're still running from your fear of losing people, just like before. So you are watching us. Looks like the mastermind of this thing has a lot of time to kill.
Huh? Mastermind?
He's taken aback by the taunt, but continues
What
on.
are you talking about? I came from the sea of your soul. Enough. Do you think you rattle me with that tired old theme?
The shadow, no, the mastermind, arrogantly tries to rile me up, but his taunts are powerless against me. I'm not taking the bait. No anger, not even surprise. There is nothing rising within me. My heart was completely placid.
So you won't admit it, then. Rise again, my puppet. Dance until you shatter.
The enemy orders Labrys to stand. As if a puppet on strings, Labrys responds to the shadow's command.
Looks like you've shown your stripes already. That power proves you're not my shadow. So what? You still have no choice but to suffer. Unless you destroy this thing, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
I glance over at Mitsuru. She gives me a slight nod and I laugh.
Sad to say, but this show is over.
Yeah, do it, Fuka. Hit the command prompt.
What?
It means we won't fall for the same trick again. Yamagishi, now!
It is I, Yamagishi. Just as Mitsuru's voice sounds, the ominous presence lurking within Labrys was repelled. Turns out the person who Mitsuru contacted before entering the TV was Fuka. I see, her persona's abilities could disrupt the control on Labrys without her having to enter this world.
Are you all okay?
Honestly, I don't really remember Fuka having that ability, but okay, we're rolling with it.
Fuka-san?
Fuka Yamagishi. She's a friend of ours who helped us greatly in the battle 3 years ago. Oh, wow. So now we're getting her introduction. She has an analytical persona, and she herself is a whiz at digging up useful info. Yasogami High students didn't know anything about Fuka and are looking around in surprise.
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she?
She's in the cloud. She's not real.
This feeling.
She's Hatsune Miku. Actually, no, she's not the cloud. She's in your Wi-Fi.
That voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? That's amazing.
That's not your shadow, Akihiko-senpai. It's just a fake mimicking your appearance.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away.
You must be the one behind all this. You stole Labrys and threw her into a TV. You were after persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labrys' memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers.
Why did you go after these students? What are you up to? Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness. Old wounds that you thought you had overcome opened once again. You almost let go of your hearts, your personas. This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
Why would you do such a thing?
All the loose ends are finally getting tied up. I love it when characters ask the antagonist, why would you do such a thing? Bitch, I'm the antagonist. I was written to do bad things because I'm bad to the bone. That's me. I glare at the enemy as he smugly reveals his grand scheme.
That's enough. I see now that there's no room for any more excuses.
I pull out my evoker. I can perform a summoning without this now, but I still couldn't just let it go. It serves as a constant reminder of those days fighting as part of Cease. Oh shit, Cease mentioned. It's so I don't forget the joy, the sorrow, and the losses from those days. I put the nuzzle to my head just like I used to. Feeling of cold metal. The easy trigger pull.
You said before that I couldn't cast aside my fears.
Back then, I felt that I didn't care if I lived or I died. I just wanted all the power I could manage. Whether my disregard for my own life was because I secretly wanted someone to punish me, or because I wanted someone stronger than I to forgive me and allow me to live. In either case, my resolution is no longer the same.
I'll tell you something. People who have no fears end up dying early or throwing their lives away. My determination coexists with my fears. I know that death and loss are always close by.
I squeezed the trigger of my evoker. A nostalgic sensation. I was just a kid 3 years ago when I laid my life on the line. Now, though, I can't allow myself to die. In my heart, I know that I can't lose this fight. I've accumulated all this power to protect others. I'm risking my life in order to stay alive and keep my friends safe. That is my current determination.
You still say you're my shadow?
The shadow is just another form of one's persona, then.
My determination would never leave my side.
Caesar. Here we go. Alright, Akihiko, you better not lose to Shadow Man. Though Shadow Akihiko does look pretty damn cool with the yellow eyes. Kind of crazy. Alright, let's hit him with the light combo first. I'm gonna do this. Okay, come on. Do that, get some distance. Hit him with this. Alright. And I'll do Caesar. I'll go up. Then do... Alright. Nice. Alright, and again. Actually, we'll do this. Nice. Oh shit, that was perfect. I didn't take a single hit. Damn, beat the fuck out of Shadow Akihiko. Damn. Perfect rotation.
No wonder you managed to drive back a god once. I didn't think you'd resist this fiercely.
That's right. Nyx is dead. I thought that I'd done some serious damage to that thing, but it seems he had no intentions of giving up his ridiculous charade. He nonchalantly carries on while still wearing my face.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes. I've confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Who do you think you are? You're really pissing me off!
Ooh, that's Mastermind contorts my face into an eerie smirk and chuckles.
I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance. But sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then. Wait!
Okay, he's taking way too long to laugh. Get out of here. There's no way I'm letting you get away. I immediately close the gap between myself and him, but with a final smirk, he disappears. All that remains is his laughter.
Yamagishi!
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Bullshit! Don't you ever come back again!
Still, what was it planning on using our persona powers for?
It hasn't given up, right? And we'll see it again.
Indeed, based on what it said, I have every reason to assume that it'll return. The enemy's objectives are still mostly unclear. We don't even know who he is. We do have a lead, though. I look towards Mitsudo and Aigis. Though I can't say this in front of the students, the fact that the mastermind knew about Labrys is a big clue. We're most likely dealing with someone related to Kirijo.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
I'll just leave the rest of the explanations to Mitsudo. She's much better at saying the right things in these situations. In the meantime, I glare at the empty space where the enemy was.
The battle will go on, huh?
That it will. Oh, we're skipping right out of here. After all the members of the Shadow Operative safely returned from inside the TV, we decided to spend a day in Inaba doing follow-up stuff and leaving quietly the next day.
I'm glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
As Fuka looks behind her to the back seat, Mitsuru and Aigis smile at each other. Even for those of us who fought the battle 3 years ago, journeying into a world inside a TV to retrieve a robot still sounds absurd. Still, we managed to accomplish our mission, we retrieved Labrys, and we kept the incident as contained as possible. However, our plan to leave quietly like a covert ops unit was foiled by that group of students.
They were certainly a lively bunch to the very end.
Mitsuru seems to have thought the lapse in security wasn't enough to stain the overall success of the mission and smiles. I recall the smiling faces of the students as they came by to see us off from Inaba. I didn't think they'd all show up. During the quiet departure, we planned into this big scene. Labrys, who Mitsuru opted not to reseal, is still glazing out the rear window and waving to them.
Do you regret parting with them?
A little. But it's only a matter of time. I promised Chie and the rest that I'd definitely come back.
I want to see that big Inaba group and say goodbye to them in person. Labrys was the one who insisted on a formal goodbye. Not only that, she herself decided to leave them for a while and join the Shadow Operatives. Even if it was unlikely that she could go to a school with them, there may have been some way for her to see her new friends more often instead of joining up with our secret group. That wasn't what Labrys wanted. There are things I must do in order to pursue the mastermind that dragged all of us into this incident. If I stay with the Shadow Operatives, I can accomplish those things that were her words. She had formed bonds, but rather than depending on them, she pushes forward. This must be why she's able to overcome a past filled with more grief than any ordinary person. Her resolve is amazing, and Labrys isn't the only one who gained a new determination in these lands either. To speak of my own resolve, I straightened myself and faced Mitsuru.
Mitsuru, may I talk to you?
What is it? It's unlike you to be so formal.
This won't be any time soon, but I'm thinking of leaving the Shadow Operatives eventually.
I'm thinking of training in the Middle East. Gotta really get up my martial arts so I can take down any shadow before they disappear on me.
What?
Huh?
Fuka doesn't seem as hard hit as the other members, but even she's looking at me with confusion in her eye. This was actually something that I've been thinking about from the very beginning. These feelings have been smoldering inside me ever since I received my first mission. And I finally found an avenue to direct all those feelings. Mitsuru seems to realize that this is something that I've given a lot of thought to and respond in a business-like manner.
May I ask why?
There's something I want to do now. I can't do it while I'm part of an unofficial group like this.
People who fear random acts of violence and crime, people down on their luck, who have no one they can turn to. I want to be someone they can rely. Oh, he wants to become like a police officer? There's one great power that protected me when I was faced with senseless acts of violence in the past. One that caused me great loss. Oh, he's talking about Miki. Yeah, Miki, his sister that died from... Wait, was it the shadow that killed her? I think so, yeah. I know, sometimes I get his story mixed up with Ken's, but because they both lost their, like, a woman in their life. But yeah, for Akihiko, it was his sister. For Ken, it was his mother. Not the same person, too. For some reason, I thought they were the same person when I was playing P3P. It was an ordinary police officer. Right now, I'm forced to turn a blind eye to the plights of some people. As long as I have to carry out my obligations as a member of the Shadow Operatives, I won't be able to help them. I'm gonna have to forego protecting some of the smaller things in order to deal with the larger missions. This case helped me realize that I don't want to give up on those smaller things to protect. I want to protect them.
I see. I think you would be well suited to it, Akihiko-san.
Oh, that's so cool. Becoming a police officer to protect one city would be great too. I'm not going against working my way through the unofficial channels to become a force of security, but greater power is required to protect a larger area. And that power can't just come from the fist. There are greater intangible powers in society as well. It wouldn't be a bad idea to work my way into the upper echelons as a government official either. Then again, I don't know if I'm cut out for all that bureaucratic stuff. Mitsuru had been quietly taking in all my musings until she interrupted. My train of thought with some surprising words.
Of all the things you were going to say, that's it?
What do you mean, that's it? Even I know it's pretty ordinary, but...
Whether you man a police box or become a career officer, you should do it. And if you do, then I'll consider your circumstances To an extent, whenever I need you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
The moment I couldn't understand what Mitsuru meant.
Oh, wait, are you planning on making me belong to 2 departments at once? You wouldn't use the Kirijo name for that, would you?
Bite your tongue? I won't do anything. But even if I don't, it'll happen on its own. You underestimate the organization's need for you. Leaving that aside, if you're going to wish to become something like that, then there's something you need to do first.
You're right. I need to train more and...
No, I meant going back to college.
Oh god, Akihiko fucking ditched college to go train in South America. Mitsuda sternly adds, you should follow the Yamagishi's example. That reminds me, I took a leave of absence from college to go on my journey. I didn't have a problem with my classes while I was still attending. But what about now? Oh yeah, true. I mean, Akihiko was a top student back in Gekkoukan. I forgot, like, he was top of the class with Mitsuru. Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but yeah, Akihiko was a good student.
Do not worry, Akihiko-san. I will calculate the units and time necessary for graduating and plan the most effective curriculum for you.
Thanks, Aigis.
I'll be counting on you, Aigis. I've been thinking this for a while now, but Akihiko seems to need someone to manage him.
I'm honored.
Another trial for me to face.
Someone's in trouble.
Labrys interjects with a joke at my expense and starts laughing. Aigis, Mitsuda, and even Fuko warmly smile back at Labrys. For a robot, Labrys sure has a great timing and a great smile. I give up and heave a deep sigh before leaning back into my seat. Labrys quickly formed new bonds in Inaba, and she will surely continue to form new bonds while she works with the Shadow Operatives. One's heart changes through encounters with others. It's always the same whether your heart is covered with muscle or metal. Even if the culprit behind this incident were to appear again, he'd be no match for my new determination. College Akihiko. This is like Gohan when he went to school. The weather is great today. The day's cloudless sky is a perfect metaphor for my new... What do you mean cloudless sky? There's at least 9 clouds right now. Cloud 9? Thinking about how fitting the situation is making me laugh to myself. After all this traveling, I finally feel like I've taken a step forward. What do you mean step forward? You're in a limousine. You're not taking any steps. You're... Shut up, Umbro. Alright, and that's Akihiko's path done. Oh, he's in red too. Nice. Okay, so I only have to redo Chie, Kanji, and Yu's later. I might do that before I start Elizabeth's, just so that I can see everyone's final scenes, and then we can immediately move on to episode P4. But... damn, I did not expect Akihiko's chapter to go on for an hour. Looks like this is going to be an extra long chapter for Umbra's voice acting, which isn't really voice acting at all. Labrys murmurs her name to herself. Her head hangs lifelessly as she stares at her mechanical limbs. Shock slowly drains into her pale face, replaced with bitter comprehension. Across from us, the shadow glares at me with a piercing, menacing stare.
You can't be!
I am the same as you. 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. Aigis.
That's right, I'm the new generation, the I-7, while you are merely an I-5.
I am the model that came after you.
Are you here to seize her? I won't let you! Not when I'm almost free!
The shadow turns to its double and cries out impatiently.
Labrys! Or do you want to be caught and locked in a cramped little box again?
Her eyes wander in search of something to settle on and eventually fix it on Yosuke. Oh, Yosuke's here, okay. But he's still in shock, unable to speak in the heat of the moment. The moment of silence is enough to shatter any hope of a peaceful resolution. Labrys smiles lifelessly and hangs her head.
No, don't get me wrong. I was just a little surprised.
No, it's okay. That's how a normal person would react.
Her sad, weak voice makes my heart ache.
I won't let you take her back. I will gain my freedom, whatever it takes!
Suddenly, the shadow fires its arm out. A long chain trails from behind it, wrapping itself around Labrys many times over. The shadow begins to pull her in with its winch. Unable to struggle, Labrys is dragged over to her captor, who lifts her over its shoulder. The shadow then runs full speed out of the announcement room. It fled with such explosive velocity that it's hard to believe it was carrying its own weight.
Wait!
That's what I said, wait. Oh, other type of wait. I give chase. It is unfortunate that I cannot explain the situation to Yosuke, but I have no choice. I exit the hallway and see the shadow make for the stairway leading upwards. This is the top floor, so it must be heading for the roof. I climb to the landing and take the stairway 2 steps at a time before throwing open the door. What I find there is not what one would expect to see on the roof of a building. Oh, we're having the showdown here this time. It is the best described as a TV studio. Spotlight hanging from the scaffolding, the cameras here and there. Up until now, no matter how warped things got, they still look like part of the school, but not here. What is this place? Just then the door behind me slams open again. The boy comes running out, breathing hard. It is Yosuke-san. I am perplexed. Why did he chase after us? There is no one here who would warrant leaving his friend Rise's side. Suddenly the area is surrounded by a menacing aura. The shadow appears. It's still carrying Labrys over its shoulder. Labrys shouldn't be unconscious, but she isn't showing any signs of resistance.
Persistent pests. Too bad for you. The Grand Prix is still on. Have fun wasting time fighting each other.
Hey, wait! Whoa!
As soon as Yosuke turns around to give chase, he runs up against something. I try stretching out my hand. Just as I thought, there was an invisible wall. No, it wasn't when I climbed up the stairs. The only door backed up in the school was the one beyond the wall. In other words, we are trapped. Yosuke hangs his head in shame and looks at me awkwardly.
Guess this means we have to fight. Sorry, I feel like I got in your way.
I came here without thinking and fell right into the enemy's trap. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. But as I see it, it isn't Yosuke who should be apologizing.
I'm also sorry for all this.
Huh?
We are the ones ultimately responsible for this incident. I am sorry to have dragged you all into it. If your friends are safe, I would suggest you evacuate at once. But in these circumstances, I must go after her.
There's no need for you to take the blame. I mean, I feel the same about wanting to go after her.
Why? I'm not sure this concerns you.
I promised I'd protect her, but I couldn't back her up when she needed me the most. So, I want to apologize and actually keep my promise this time. I feel like I can't leave her alone right now.
In his eyes, I could see a glimmer of determination.
I think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
I review the important parts for him, that personas and shadows are universal, that they have existed since ancient times, and that there are probably little known battles and pacts all over the world to harness their powers. That I have experienced in one such battle that was in fact created for that purpose. I am a weapon given a heart in order to use a persona. I explained that Labrys was a prototype long sealed away, one that was lost during a recent incident. Yosuke doesn't seem to swallow all of it, but he listens attentively nonetheless.
There are shadows outside the TV too? Who would have thought?
I was surprised as well, to find out that a world like this was accessible through televisions.
Aigis just leaves out the part where she literally fought toe-to-toe against Ryoji on the Moonlight Bridge.
Believe me, we were pretty shocked last year too.
Aigis be like, yeah, I fought against the literal incarnation of death, and I lost. But I still did though, on a badass bridge at midnight. That's pretty cool. I look straight into the boy's eyes without laughing at his attempt to lighten the mood. Only the winner can leave, so we must fight. There is no ignoring that cold fact. I suspect the shadow set this up to buy time. We don't have a moment to waste. I don't say anything, but Yosuke seems to get the picture.
Can you tell me something? What's going to happen to Labrys once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Yeah, I thought so. You did say that she was a weapon after all. Not really surprised you can't talk about it with outsiders.
Is that all? I must go get her back. If you cooperate with me, I am sure I can knock you out painlessly.
In response to my blunt suggestion, a wry smile appears on Yosuke's face. However, his eyes still have that gleam.
Sorry, but I can't back down.
We need fight.
Are you really going to fight me? Not to boast, but you would challenge a living weapon?
She said she wanted to be free. Hey, I made her a promise. I want to see it through. I guess you could say it's a guy pride thing?
He jokes about it, but there is resolve behind his words. He will not back down. What he is really saying is this: my feelings for Labrys are as strong as yours. I smile inwardly, though it does not show in my face.
I understand. I accept your challenge.
Yosuke's about to get fucking riddled with bullets. Let's do it. I don't remember how to play Aigis. All I remember is Orgia mode. I don't remember how to activate Orgia mode. I think it's backwards A? Oh god. Alright, let me test this out. Command list. Orgia mode. Orgia mode. Command move.
Please hit! Down! Please hit! Fire!
Oh right, she has bullets.
Limitor's disabled!
There we go. I can do this. That's what it is, yeah.
Fire missile! Bramble!
And then do this. SP?
Final sequence!
What? I missed.
Still not bad.
Fire! Overheating!
Nice. Just when Orgia mode ended. How did I miss my instant kill though? What the fuck? Disappointing. Yosuke smiles sheepishly at me from the floor.
I had a feeling I didn't have a chance against a pro like you. Ow. You sure are strong, Aigis-san.
Are you all right?
Are all your limbs intact? He waves his hand to show that he's fine. He should be exhausted, perhaps the male pride prevents him from admitting it.
Looks like I'll be staying behind.
I will do what I can to not force anything on my sister that she does not want.
Can you tell her that I wanted to apologize to her too? Of course, I'll tell her myself once this is all over, but... Oh, and one more thing. Tell her we can have a party when this is all over.
Yosuke-san.
Oh, you're invited too, of course.
My heart is warmed. He's not just worried about Labrys' safety, he worries about her heart. I nod vigorously.
Yes, I will make sure to tell her, though we are not capable of eating food. Will that be a problem?
It's okay, I'll get you some nuts and bolts or whatever.
Huh? Really? Nah, it's no problem at all.
Thank you.
Kind of makes me realize how whack Persona's 3 cast is. They have Aigis, Kodomaru, and yeah. Like they have a dog that has a persona. They have Aigis. There's someone else in it. Who else? Who's the mascot of P3? It's Kodomaru, that's who it is, right? I forgot. It's Morgana in 5, Teddy in 4, and then yeah, Kodomaru in 3. But yeah, it's like it is quite vast. Also, I think P3 has the biggest cast too. Like there's like 11 characters, I think. Whereas P4 has what, 8? Oh god. Anyways, I'll look into it later. I'll save Labrys from this world, from the cellar of solitude. There are people in the outside world who accept us all as allies. Some of them consider us friends. I am happy that hope is so close by.
Be careful. That shadow looked pretty strong.
I will. Please stay safe.
You say that, Yosuke, but I already beat Shadow Labrys like 34 times. As he cheers me on from behind, I leave the roof. Shadow Labrys ain't got shit on me. Although she is quite strong, though, I don't like the whole... I think Tiamat is her persona. As soon as I re-enter the school, I can sense the shadow's presence without needing to scan for it. I follow the presence back to the announcement room. What could be waiting for me this time? I slowly open the door, wary of an attack. But the room is quiet and no ambush comes. I step inside. Both versions of Labrys are facing each other further into the room. I quickly step between the two, shielding Labrys from her shadow. The shadow does not seem alarmed. It spins its axe idly.
You're late. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come. Was Yosuke-kun a tough opponent?
Oh, sorry. String of water. As it finishes the sentence, its axe stops. Oh my god. My throat. I brace myself in anticipation for an attack. The shadow simply smiles brutally.
Just as you thought. The real party begins now.
It's like so cold outside, but I like drinking cold water still. Maybe that's contributing to why I'm feeling cold though. Just as the words sink in, I hear a sound simultaneously. Heavy sound of the air being sliced behind me. I lunge to the left, solely on reflex. A battle axe slams into the ground where I've been only milliseconds ago.
What? Sister!
Oh, so close.
Shock spreads across my face. Labrys takes a combat stance with her battle axe, her wet eyes focused on me. She has chosen to fight for the Unreal School.
Is this what you really want? What else is there for me?
Labrys sounds resigned in her reply. I have no answer for her. My heart aches as if it was cut by a razor.
It's finally come to this. Sister versus sister. Let the battle begin!
Oh my god, I gotta fight against Labrys now, then Shadow Labrys, then Shadow Labrys again. Oh boy, and then Shadow Aigis. Holy shit. The shadow jeers at me with delight. I don't have the presence of mind to deliver a rejoinder. The battle's about to play out in straight from the worst case scenario I had envisioned. The very person I hope to save. My sister, I must defend her with my own hands. Let's go. Actually, no, fuck that. I don't need to save. You know what, fuck it. We're on a roll here. We fight Labrys, then Shadow Labrys, then Shadow Labrys Mastermind version, and Shadow Aigis Mastermind version.
Finally.
Alright. I see. Do this. Alright. Ah.
No! Some damage, heavy emergency!
Okay. Do this. Then
Now!
hold this.
Severe impact. Let's simply right myself. Charging! Now!
Alright. And now Orgia.
Limiters disabled! Maximum fire missile! Throwing! Fire! No escape! Evading! No escape! No escape!
The flame wheel is so busted. Holy shit. The fact that I can just chain those flame wheels back to back is crazy. And I could also spend all my ammunition too. I could do the machine gun immediately right after I activate Orgia mode. So I get rid of all that and I use that as a DPS and then I just flame wheel spam. Labrys loses her strength and falls to her knees.
Why? Why can't I stay like this?
The hope she risked so much to gain has been shattered, she mutters piteously as she falls. She's not the only one who wants to collapse. I never imagined this would be so painful. Every time my attacks connected, I felt as if I was tearing out a piece of my heart. The unwanted exchange of violence ending in one of our destruction leads to nothing but despair. Every time I felt that pain, the memories of Labrys I saw in the classroom, those vivid images made sense. The sterile, mechanical rooms that made up most of her visual memories must have been the facility where she was created. At that facility, Labrys was forced to endure the same pain she is feeling now. In order to gain combat data, she was forced to destroy her sister models, even though they had hearts. Not just once or twice, but over and over and over. It's too much for the mind to immediately comprehend. Agitation spreads through me like a fever. I clutch my
I
chest.
knew that you couldn't beat her.
The shadow, in contrast, is completely nonchalant.
But wow, you really didn't have any qualms about attacking her. Deep down, you must really want to make them suffer, don't you? You want them to go through what you had to. No! You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school, having a fighting tournament. You want to see close friends fight for their lives against each other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand.
That ain't true!
But it was no use. Even another living weapon can't understand you. It's all right, though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
Please stop! That's all a lie! You're not me!
Oh, she said it right this time.
Finally! You finally said it! I'm finally free!
You activated my keyword memory bank. Shadow's eyes start to glow, full of life. It isn't just a change in its attitude, its power seems to actually be rising. Did something in its conversation with Labrys catalyze this change? Too late, it hits me. What did the Shadow want with Labrys? Trying to buy time, which meant it needed something from her.
It's time for the true star to take the stage.
Its shout shakes the air. As if it's a response to the cry, the room begins to warp. The view beyond the window shimmers ominously. Here comes the eye. Skip. A giant incinerator appears in the darkness. Countless chassis are falling to be cruelly destroyed. Illuminated by the blood-red light of the flames, the shadow reveals its true self. Seeing Labrys look alike commanding a giant beast behind it brings to mind the summoning of a persona. I run over to Labrys to stand her listless body up.
I won't be needing that trash anymore.
It seems that the shadow has accomplished its goal with Labrys. It was used, forced to fight my sister for this purpose. I clenched my teeth at my own slowness to comprehend.
Let's get started, shall we?
This isn't just for Labrys. This is the enemy, the fate of anyone not human.
It seems that I must take responsibility for this.
That's right. It's Labrys time. Ikuyo? Time to beat. I mean, she's only 5th gen, right? Ain't no way I'm losing to 5th gen. It'd be cool if Labrys had... Actually, no, it wouldn't be cool if Labrys had Orgia mode too. Alright. Alright. Whoops. Death by bomb. Alright. I guess isn't that hard to play. Alright. The monster's form melts away as it disperses like fog. Only a silhouette similar to Labrys remains. It falls to its knees, having no will to resist anymore.
I somehow pulled through.
I turn to face the real Labrys.
Are you alright?
She's conscious and seems to have no major damage. All that remains to be tested is her will.
Please listen. I have a message for you. From Yosuke-san. He said that he is sorry for promising to help you and being unable to support you when you needed it most. Additionally, he said that he would be throwing a party later. You are invited, of course.
You're lying.
If that is what you think, you can ask him yourself later. Now please, stand up.
I'll do it for the Yosuke party. I lend her my shoulder and prop her up. She follows my lead, but her legs are still shaking.
How come this happened? I didn't want to hurt anyone or make them suffer.
I know. That was a shadow going berserk. Not everything it said reflects your true feelings. I had a similar experience, actually. My other self was on the verge of going berserk. It told me there was an innate contradiction in having a heart, but not being human, preventing me from truly protecting others.
Wasn't that tough to listen to?
Yes, of course.
Then how can you stand it? How are you still acting like everything's fine?
I'm fine right now, but I'm sure I will suffer that pain again someday. Very probably, as long as I am myself. It will never go away as long as I live.
It won't? Then what can I do but give up? What am I supposed to do?
We'll be all right, as long as we have friends.
Labrys opens her eyes wide.
It was when you were alone that you suffered most. I'm sure of it. If you do not give up on reaching out to others, you will surely find someone who understands. Or maybe...
As I say this, I can hear the voices from outside. They're calling our names. The voices grow closer and closer, and eventually one of the doors fly open.
Hey! There you are! Thank goodness!
Are you two okay?
You seem to have the matter in hand.
Anji and Rise arrive shortly after. Now that the shadow has been defeated, the invisible walls trapping them have disappeared. There are some new faces as well. As I recall from the video, there are Yu Narukami and Yukiko Amagi. There is also a costume that looked like General Teddy. This must be the real Teddy that Chie mentioned. The resemblance is strong, but this one is so charming it's hard to hate him. Everyone has considerate words for Labrys. My heart is filled with warmth. They could have ignored us outsiders and escaped, but they didn't. They were truly worried about us and came running. All of them. I addressed Labrys, who was looking back and forth between me and them with a perplexed look.
It might be more accurate to say that those who understand you are already here. Of course, I want to understand you as well. Please talk to me whenever you want. Tell me about your memories, even if you have to take them one at a time.
Labrys sinks deep in thought, then looks at me again. I nod silently. She slowly starts walking and stops in front of the shadow. who stands as quietly as the real one, at the other end of the room.
You were right. I was always alone, so I had no one to talk to, no matter how much it hurt, and I went and blamed that on them.
Alright, this is probably the last time I'll have to see this, so you know what? Let's watch it to its fullest. Just kidding. Think I'd actually do that shit? We're already an hour and 15
Reminds
into
me of us
this.
from last year.
Let's get on with it. This reminds me of last year.
Yeah, it's the same thing. She's really no different from us.
Yosuke and the others smile. To acknowledge one's weakness in front of others, they must have earned their personas through the same ordeal. I can see now why their bond is so strong. The tension in the air evaporates. Just as Labrys' expression softens, a familiar voice comes from behind.
Is that Labrys?
Everyone turns to look as the newcomer.
Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san, you're all right.
Of course we are.
I run towards them. Neither of them appear to be injured. I notice that they aren't too surprised to see Yosuke and the others. They must already be aware of the situation. On the other hand, everyone else is surprised.
Who are these people and what the hell are they wearing?
Oh man, a dude storming across the battlefield in just a cape? I am all about that.
I'd say you've got good taste.
Oh my god.
Seriously?
Labrys grabs weakly at my arm.
Don't worry.
I smile and nod. She still bites her lips in anxiety, but she is no longer afraid of everything.
You're Labrys, correct?
Labrys simply nods in response to Mitsuru's question as she walks up. There's a moment of silence. Mitsuru sighs in relief, breaks it.
I'm glad you're safe.
Labrys smiles back awkwardly. The look on her face helps dispel the tension in Yosuke's and his friends. Mitsuru notices this as well. I step forward alongside Mitsuru to introduce ourselves and show our appreciation. It seems they have never met a persona user who didn't awaken in the TV world. We spent some time discussing our respective circumstances. Oh yeah, come to think of it, in P3, right, several of the characters already had their personas awakened, like Yukari, Mitsuru, Akihiko. Like, they were already awakened before the game began. Teddy leads us back to the roof. They say that this was the place they used to enter the TV and exit the world. Labrys, who still doesn't quite understand that she is in the TV, cocks her head in bewilderment. Yosuke and his friends gather around her and explain everything. She is shocked at first, but as she grows accustomed to the idea, she begins laughing. Relieved, I leave Labrys to them. I approach Mitsuru and Akihiko. I relay to them that all the information I've gathered on this case so far. I tell them that the tournament's host was Labrys' shadow, which had emerged from her. That Labrys may have not been stolen, but that she may have escaped on her own. She has the ability to manipulate people's senses. I would explain the signs of mental interference found on the hijackers. We were able to discover Inaba through our research. Perhaps she used the same methods. It would have taken time, but she was sealed away for over 10 years. Although she was caged, it is not clear whether she was conscious or not during that period. She had more than enough time. Mitsuru and Akihiko show no surprise, but they do let out a long sigh. In contrast to Mitsuru, who is lost in thought, Akihiko goes to an answer straight from the source. Labrys startles when he taps her shoulder.
So when did you actually awaken?
His question is blunt, but Labrys handles it calmly, knowing that it is a natural thing to ask.
You know, I can't remember.
She's being honest. She has used her ability on herself. Not even she knew what she really was. But Akihiko seems skeptical. Having no memory of it also means that she's unable to deny
Please,
it.
Mitsuru-san, can you be lenient with her?
Mitsuru folds her arms and thinks. I know she's in a difficult position. Though Labrys may have a heart, it does not make her human. She's a weapon with dangerous capabilities. Mitsuru cannot decide based on her personality alone what measures to take. Especially now that we are affiliated with the police. We have to set an example.
Yeah, would you, please?
Yosuke-kun.
I know I'm asking without knowing the whole story here, but please don't lock her up again.
Even his friends seem surprised by his outburst. But soon enough, they are all giving Mitsuru the same pleading look. Mitsuru winces before giving a wry smile.
Well, I hadn't intended to seal her away again to begin with.
Mitsuru-san!
Seriously? Did you hear that?
It should be a walk in the park compared to the challenge of sending Aigis to school.
She has no intention of locking her away. The smile on Mitsuru's face confirms that much.
Thank you so much.
How about if we go outside? this isn't really the place to stand around and chat.
Yeah, well, it was a hell of a way to start off a holiday, but at least it's over. Man, why'd that shadow have to pick our school and us of all people?
Mitsudo and Akihiko freeze.
You know, that is odd now that you mention it. I was told this place takes its shape from a person's memories. Why would it become this high school?
I had picked up on that incongruity as well. Putting aside that Inaba was chosen as the escape destination, why was a specific school so carefully recreated? I also have my doubts about Labrys' power. Strictly speaking, it doesn't rob one's sanity. What her power really does is cloud one's senses with illusions. I'm not sure that would have been enough to control those hijackers so completely.
Hey, Labrys.
He calls out her name. But... Alright, here we go. The instant he pulls his hand on his shoulder, she twitches.
Hey, what's the matter?
Labrys abruptly leaps backwards. Everyone is baffled to see her white body flying above her heads.
She's...
Stay back, everyone!
He's the first to realize the danger and yells a warning to the others.
Sister?
Labrys stands there motionlessly. Slowly, her right hand reaches for the battle axe on her back. Tension fills the air.
Why?
The blade of the axe is pointed towards me. I do not comprehend. What's going on? As I stand there confused, Labrys lowers her stance, readying herself for battle. I open my mouth to try to persuade her, but I can't. There is no time. Labrys now has the use of her persona. She will be stronger than before. If I don't focus on counteracting, I will lose. I clench my jaw and hold in the despair that threatens to overwhelm me. I must concentrate on the problem at hand. Wow. Didn't even attack. Or didn't even speak this time. It's just, okay. Shadow Labrys took out the axe. That's it. Now beat the fuck out of her. Alright. And then we just gotta beat Shadow Aigis after this. Alright. What? How did I get hit still?
Limiters disabled. No escape. Scramble. I saw you. No escape.
Nice, I can hit it. I can hit on the side too.
Fire missile.
Knock her up and then save up for this. There we go. At this point, I know most of Labrys' moves, including her little axe hit, where she hits you with the handle. Labrys falls to the ground with a thud.
Labrys!
I try to run to her, but I stop when I hear an unearthly
You
voice.
succeeded in repulsing it yet again. Very unexpected.
Everyone takes a defensive stance and looks around.
What is this? I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
Oh my god, who could it be?
Certainly an ominous presence. But that voice...
Is that my voice?
Yes, it is. Before I can react, an unnatural-looking shadow, a clump of darkness thick as a pool of blood, forms next to Labrys. Our true enemy rises up from the sludge. It is a sight I will never forget.
No. Aigis-san's shadow?
To think you'd fight back this fiercely. No wonder you once drove back a god. Yes, I want them even more now.
Want them? What does that mean?
Yosuke lashes out at the enemy, but it ignores him and continues talking.
Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. But I'll make use of what tools I have to the very end. This is my last chance. No, more like a marvelous entertainment. Entertainment?
Instead of answering it, it raises its right hand over Labrys.
Stand, my puppet.
Labrys stands up as if being pulled by strings.
Is it controlling her?
Sister!
She doesn't answer. Her face is a blank stare and her shoulders hang unnaturally. She is every inch its puppet. Confused, I look again at the enemy. Is that my shadow? Looks like me, but its voice, its powers, they're all so different from mine. But before I can come to a conclusion, the enemy uses Labrys to make its next move.
This form is exhausted from constant battle and will be useless as an asset. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
Maybe go through the TV and then see you later. You can't follow me through here. While I'm at it, why not throw Labrys into it as well? Maybe the brainwashing will go away once we're out of the TV world. With the battle axe in hand, Labrys dashes forward without warning. Her attack is much more forceful than in the last battle. Even with all my strength, I am pushed back.
Oh crap! If this keeps up...
Let's do this! Takemika!
Wait! Don't interfere!
But...
Please!
I clench my teeth. Labrys is under that thing's control and ignoring her own limits. Yo, Kanji was about to get in there and bust ass. She's already damaged and exhausted from her previous battle. We all attack, we might be able to contain her, but she could be destroyed in the process.
Now, may you suffer and curse your fate. Relinquish your personas.
Relinquish?
Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness. Old wounds that you thought you had overcome,
Oh shit.
opened once again. You almost let go of your hearts, your personas. This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Sorry, my headphones are dying.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
You bastard! Who are you?
You had best hurry and decide. Who will be destroyed? This shell or the lot of you?
Labrys flies through the air again and unleashes a full force attack. I am forced to one knee, but she attacks again. Just when I'm sure it's over, something happens.
Sorry, but this show is over.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see Mitsuru stand straight up. Ugh! Suddenly, the menacing aura surrounding Labrys is dispelled like magic.
What?
For the first time, the enemy seems shocked. Freed from the spell, Labrys falls to the ground.
Sister!
I run to her and cradle her in my arms. What was that? Mitsuru smiles defiantly and glances up at the sky.
Looks like you made it in the nick of time. You saved us, Yamagishi.
An answering voice echoes in my head. A soft but extreme reassuring voice.
Are you all okay? Fuka-san?
Fuka Yamagishi, she's a fellow ally who helped us overcome the challenges we faced in the past. I cannot help but smile with surprise and joy.
So you had a third assistant.
Ooh, what a soothing voice! My teddy senses are telling me that this is a real cutie pie!
Oh, Teddy, oh my god.
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she?
This feeling. What the?
Rise opens her eyes and looks up.
Voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? That's amazing.
Even before I can ask, Fuka tells me what I want to know.
Aigis, the enemy is just mimicking your appearance. It's not actually a part of you.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away.
Mitsuru stares at the enemy in shock. We hear Fuka-san's words as if she's speaking, but technically there is no sound. She transmits her voice directly into people's minds. Other people should hear nothing. Yet the enemy is responding to her. I raise my guard in spite of myself. But there is no fear in me. My doubts about the enemy, my hesitation are gone. My heart starts to burn. What is this? I've never felt this heated emotion running through my body before.
You must be the one behind all this. You stole Labrys and threw her into a TV. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labrys' memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers.
So this must be the real puppet master.
Then, that voice who tried to dissuade me back in that classroom.
You're quite slow for a machine. Can't you tell by looking at me who that was?
That wasn't something my heart saw, but just a malicious whisper. Fire in my heart is stoked higher, and I make a fist without realizing it. I thought the entire incident was just an unfortunate event caused by my sister's suffering. But her pain was all orchestrated by someone. This isn't her tragedy. Someone saw to it that this would happen. And not just to Labrys. Whoever did this tried to manipulate the pain in my heart too, as posing as my shadow. And to top it all off, the culprit poses everyone here to make them distrust each other, reopening old wounds. This was all their evil plan. I'm not a human, but because of that, I hold the hearts and bonds of others to be sacred. They saved me, they kept me going on. And yet, I've tested those bonds and used our anguish for its own purpose. Our heart were nothing but tools to it. Tools to hurt others. I see. I get it now. This rolling, violent surge of emotion. This shaking, burning eruption sensation. I realize that this is the type of emotion we can best be described in a single word. This is fury. Okay?
Are you angry?
I was gonna say anger or hate.
All right, I'll play along. The show must go on, right?
You've gone too far.
Alright, Aigis. One last battle. We have done a lot today. Very satisfied with my progression. Time to beat the heck out of Shadow. I don't even know how Shadow Aigis is a thing, but...
Finally.
Damn, that's a cool skin, though. Okay. Do that, and then this. I'll do this, then I'll do this. Whoops. I'll do that too. I ran out of Orgia mode too quick. This thing shaped like me falls to the ground on its knees, but it gets right back up with an awkward jerking motion and lets out an insane laugh. The smile on its face contrasts with its damaged limbs, has the eeriness of a clown.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes that I confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Those are the words of a sore loser.
This is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance, but sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. All that irritates me is having to feign cooperation with that foolish human until I obtain the one true vessel.
That foolish human. An odd choice of words. It would seem to imply not only that it is not human, but also that it is working with a human to carry out its
I will
crimes.
see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
So there are two bad guys. Get out of my face. It lets out a raucous laugh in my face. This is the last time I have to do this after all. After that, it slowly fades away, dissipating into the air.
Yamagishi.
Misudu quickly calls out. However,
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Akihiko lets out a heavy sigh.
Sheesh. It even had to exit on a lame, evil laugh.
Another guise, huh?
Don't even think about coming around here again!
Should we put up some talismans? I've got a lot left over from when we were putting them up in our inn.
Yes, Yukiko, please give some to me.
Well, even if it shows up again, it'll get double the pain we gave it this time.
Gotta put some on the four corners of the walls.
Who could it be, though? How did it know about our personas?
That's the thing. It has to be someone who attends Yasugami after all, because they know what the school looks like. That's why they were able to recreate it, right? So that's the interesting part. It's obviously going to be a new character, but they have to be a student.
That aside, it sure had a sneaky way of doing things. This is twice I've been kidnapped into the TV world, you know. Twice!
True. The irritation is obvious, and it's only natural. They were toyed with too, and they do not take Labrys' treatment well. But I cannot encourage them to settle the score. Akihiko apparently thinks the same thing.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
But...
Guys, Let's leave this to them.
You can...
Are you serious?
They're right that we need to go back for now. You look beat.
Yu is aware of the situation, who speaks up. Perhaps he senses our dilemma.
I'm sorry, everyone.
He nods and looks at Yosuke, who reluctantly gives up. Their ability to communicate through eye contact only proves the strength of their bonds.
Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, we were in the middle of a conversation. And what's this about a trip? You really gave us a scare disappearing like that. And this isn't the first time either.
It's not my fault. Or should I actually sponsor the next Miss Inaba?
Don't even think about it.
So the beauty pageant? Chie's fist is still shaking with anger after impacting Teddy at full strength. There are times when you should give it your all because it's your friend. Ah, how beautiful friendship is. I comprehend. And after everyone calms down, we finally move on to the main subject. We all gathered on the roof in order to leave this world. After getting everyone's attention, Teddy makes a few narcissistic remarks and clicks his heels. Then like a magic trick at a party, some old TVs appear in a puff of smoke.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a Teddy Vision. You can get out from here.
This TV is our escape route? Can we really fit inside?
Ooh, are you a little too front-loaded to fit? In that case, I wouldn't mind helping you squeeze through.
You're even worse than before, you know that?
Chie and Yosuke jump in without hesitation, showing how used to it they are. Seeing that Akihiko and Mitsuru shrug and follow suit, Labrys stares as everyone gets sucked into the TV one by one. She doesn't look scared. Her eyes are actually bright as she glances this way. I can't help but smile at that. She doesn't need any permission to do anything. I tell her to go ahead and she dives in headfirst with a giant grin. Although, just as I thought, her wings don't fit as she gets caught on the screen. I burst into laughter to see her legs sticking out of the TV, kicking wildly. I took off the unit on her back and she instantly gets sucked into the TV. I wonder if she landed safely. As the last one left, I turn around and take a final look. It doesn't feel like it, but it's only been a few hours since we entered the TV, and only 3 days since the hijacking. It was a horrible nightmare, but at the same time I met some good people. But most importantly, it isn't over. The true test may still yet to come. I push my toes in and slip into the TV. What about the wings, though? Everyone made it back out safely. Forever lost. When we return to the real world, I am surprised to find myself in Junes, a large department store. I have never seen Mitsuru so flustered. Even she could not have expected to emerge in the most crowded place in town and from a display TV at that. But to make it back to the limousine, we have no choice but to walk through the store. Mitsuru in her skin-tight suit. Akihiko mostly naked for his cape. Why is he smiling? Me with my mechanical parts exposed and Labrys with her axe, or her wings I suppose. Not to mention Teddy. Nah, don't worry, Teddy will definitely be okay, because he works there. Rise and Naoto are both public figures. One is an idol and the other is a detective. Yeah, but like, the people know them. We make quite an outlandish procession. Considering the nature of our operations, I hope to avoid having any pictures taken with phone cameras. However, as we walk along, I soon find myself my fear of cameras is baseless. In fact, it is not cameras we need to worry about at all, it is the police. I find myself anxious in this completely unexpected situation. An arrest would mean disgrace as an unofficial unit, and I'm sure Yosuke-san and the others would like to avoid the inside of Juvenile Hall. Everyone hastily agrees with each other and takes off at full speed. I can hear Yosuke and Chie loudly complaining about the unfairness of the world. Mitsuru and Akihiko exchange fearless smiles, though cold sweat is streaming down both their faces. Teddy and Labrys seem like they're having fun. I don't think they understand the situation. Yu and Yukiko run without a word like determined athletes. Kanji tries to turn and fight every so often, with Naoto having to stop him every time. Rise switches on her cell phone to find an alarming number of missed calls, which seem to be the bigger problem for her. In the end, our parting with the Yasogami High students concludes with a brief goodbye as we all scatter like birds. That's pretty cool. That's a little story part that it kind of got skipped over in everyone else's parts, but at least Aigis kind of showcased a bit of it. That night, we decide to stay the night in Inaba for a quick health checkup and review of the case. After finishing the necessary steps, we decide to take an early rest. The true culprit is still out there, and Labrys needs to get to a lab for proper maintenance. After 10 years of stasis, she was suddenly forced into a series of stressful battles. It would not be surprising if some of her parts are now malfunctioning. Considering the morning traffic, we should leave early in the day. Or so I suggest, but Labrys' other ideas. May 4th, the next day. My car is parked out at an intersection away from the main road. We are here to say goodbye to everyone. Labrys wanted it this way. I'm happy that she wished to see people again on her own will. On the other side of the street are the people we met yesterday, are gathered to see Labrys one last time. They wished to say goodbye to her, but they had not expected us to contact them.
I asked if I could come see everyone. I wanted to give everyone a real goodbye.
What do you do next? Are you going back to that lab?
No, I decided I'm gonna work with Mitsuru-san and them. I want to do my damnedest to catch whoever used me to bait a trap for you all.
All right. Then I guess the party's on hold until after everything's really over. But hey, you should come see us again anyway. Promise me, okay?
You got it.
Labrys shakes hands with each of them. Don't shake too hard, Labrys. You have metal arms. Even after we leave, Labrys keeps waving through the rear window. Waving and waving and waving. Whoa. Even past the point where the human eye can no longer see, she's still waving. After she has waved to her heart's content, she turns to see Fuka and I looking at her, and blushes. Fuka giggles.
I'm glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
Indeed. Things are going to heat up from now on. I must get back and reallocate my staff.
You're including me in there, right? Every opponent I made a mistake against on my journey, I made sure to go back and get a rematch. This'll be no different.
It should spur discussion amongst the staff again about working Yamagishi into our unit.
Huh? I'm still not sure about joining any special unit.
Flustered, Fuka starts to wring her head. Glancing at the seat next to me, I noticed Labrys looking at the sky through her window.
I didn't know the sky was so blue.
There's a deep wistfulness in her
Back at
voice.
the lab, they only let me out at night. But this, I feel like I've seen it once before. That same bright blue sky.
Right, that's when she escaped, and then she made it to the dock with the dog, and then she got to see what it was like daytime for the very first time. Once before, I recalled the memory relating to those words amongst the countless memories of Labrys awakened within me. Yeah, the dock, the sea, the cerulean sky and lingering clouds, the emerald blue water. In my mind, I placed Labrys at the scene, white figure gazing from the edge of the pier. I know this scenery. For an instant it feels that I do. Like a knot slowly undoing itself, that lid to a box inside of me opens and something hot fills my chest. What had been only an image becomes a memory. Soon after I understand everything. I know when Labrys saw the scene. I know what she thought when she saw it. What she wished for.
I see now.
Noticing my murmur, Labrys looks at me in wonder.
The scenery from your memory was the pier outside of the Yakushima laboratory.
Suddenly Labrys' eyes open in surprise.
The date was the final day before you were sealed. You made a heartfelt wish there. You hoped that your successor would make the same wish to see someone precious to them. And that meeting would take place at the pier. You dreamed that your successor would be able to go beyond that pier, to places you would never be able to see for yourself.
Right, I guess then in this case.
And that even if your memories were deleted, your feelings would be passed on to the next generation.
Labrys' ruby eyes begin to quiver. My words have unearthed her buried memory.
Yeah, that's right.
It was at that very place where I met the friends I have now. When I was searching for someone, I found myself naturally drawn there for some reason.
My memories return to a certain encounter. That day on that very same pier I met him. Oh, true, in Yakushima. Wait, that's the same pier? Oh, damn. Well, canonically, she didn't just meet the MC. She also met fucking Junpei and Akihiko as well. We all tried to hit on her. Good times. My dear friend.
It was because of your wish.
My wish? You mean the thing I wished for that day actually came true?
Indeed. It stayed alive for 10 years. Thank you, Labrys. It's because of you that I found happiness.
Huh. I didn't know that. My desires. All the feelings I got from the others. They didn't go to waste.
Tears streamed down Labrys' cheeks. I stretch out a finger to wipe them off, but it's already wet from the drop of my own cheek. Mitsudo and Fuka smile at us gently. Fuka seems a bit teary-eyed herself.
I gotta thank you, too. You made me remember something important.
After wiping her tears, Labrys looks at me, her eyes clear and determined.
There's someone I have to find. I need to meet her so I can tell her something.
I hope that girl's still alive. I mean, if any, she was just chronically impaired, right? Not ill. So, if anything, she should still be alive. I'm about to extend my hand to shake hers, but it now seems too distant of a gesture for us sisters. Instead, I pull her towards me and look at her face to face.
I'm sure you will. You're not alone anymore. We can search for her together.
Yeah. Thanks.
As the sun shines down, she gives me the biggest smile I've ever seen on her yet. End of story. Nice. Sweet. They're all done. Look at that. Look at these beautiful red clears. Alright. Okay. Well. I am proud to announce that next episode we will conclude Elizabeth's chapter and probably see through it to the end, which probably won't take 2 hours. So next episode will be purely dedicated to Elizabeth. I am going to try to go over Yu, Kanji's, and Chie's story so I can just quickly see the other stories and finish it up, just in case it adds any more context to story elements that I might not have, so that I have the entire full picture before we move on to whatever the next story mode is. So, thanks for watching. I'm not going to drink more water now, I'm going to go to sleep in fact, but I will be picking this up quite shortly, so I'll see you tomorrow.